everybody! It's Felicia Day. You're on my fan page. That means you're a fan, maybe, or you hate me. I don't care. You're here. I am here in New York City with my wonderful book editor, Lauren Spiegel.
Hi.
So this is the woman who helped me craft my memoir, You're Never Weird on the Internet Almost, and helped me put this new lovely book together, Embrace Your Weird, Face Your Fears, and Unleash Creativity. This is my new book. It came out Tuesday.
Yes.
I've already been on the road. I'm like hawking it everywhere.
Yep.
You're putting me to work.
You're still in one piece?
Yeah, no. I slept a total of 2.5 hours last night. Well, my problem was that I went to bed and I took half a sleeping pill, which I'd never taken before, which didn't work, by the way. Really good. But I took it at 9, but then I didn't add up. That was 6 my time. So I basically slept from 9 to 11 p.m. and then woke up until 3 a.m. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's all your fault.
Have you had caffeine?
I don't have caffeine, but I just had a hot chocolate. So kind of. Okay, I'm supposed to do, welcome. Hola, ciao, salut, ni hao ma. I took a tiny bit of Mandarin one time when I was exercising on a regular basis.
Of course you did.
I did, and I was watching like a Jackie Chan movie after like 6 months of doing level 1 and 2 and 3 over and over again, and I could make out words, and I almost started crying because I was so proud of myself.
It's so worth it.
It was so worth it because I was like, wow, this was nothing before, and now it's something. Anyway, so I'm going to be signing. You can order a signed copy of the book. I'm on book tour right now, but some of you are not near a physical stop. So you can go to premiercollectibles.com/embrace. premiercollectibles.com/embrace. This is not a QVC. I am just signing the book. So you can get a signed copy. Just go over there. We sold how many?
1,000. Thank you.
1,000 books have been pre-ordered through this service. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you all. You're going to get a book. And you're going to enjoy it. Because you want to ask me about this book? I guess you're moderating, but I'm just taking over.
Well, this is your job.
It is.
Editors are not meant to be on camera.
Editors are not meant to be on camera. What do you normally do? Can you describe to the audience what you do? I'm going to interview you, Lauren.
Oh, no. What do I normally do? A lot of email. People think that you're reading at your desk when you're a book editor, but it's a lot of email and telling people no.
Telling people no about what? Like, I don't want your book?
Yeah.
Or, oh, really?
Agents, not authors.
Got you.
Basis,
so basically, people send you manuscripts, and you're just like, pass.
Right.
Do you get used to it? Are you like jaded for rejecting people in their dreams?
No. I guess I'm used to it. You learn ways to say it in a nice way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna bow out.
Yeah.
Of the running.
When I did casting, in the beginning, I'm an actor, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Hey, can you do it again? Just a little bit. You're a little bit smaller, and you're trying to help the actor be their best. And by the end of the day, you're just like, next. I don't care if this is your hopes and dreams. I'm tired and I need a salad. Anyway. Well, just to say a little bit about my book, right?
Yes, you should, which I think you're sort of touching on that.
Yeah.
The creative process and how you keep going.
Mm-hmm. How do I keep going? I cry, and then I'm like, well, you got to pay for this baby, and then I keep going. No, this book was written because I wrote my memoir, You're Never Weird on the Internet Almost, and a lot of people came up to me and were like, hey, because of your story, I started creating, or I got help for depression and anxiety. And I was like, wow, you're doing something good for the world? This feels better than Hollywood Bowl sheets. There's sheets of things outside. So I decided to write something that was more interactive and playful and funny. I've actually read many, many self-help books over the years, but when I went back to read them when I was having a life crisis last year, I was like, oh, this is not funny. I don't really want God to enter me right now because, I'm depressed. So I'm like, let's make people laugh. So it's an interactive book, y'all. So if you open it up, you could do activities in the book. I want you to write in the book and tear it up. People are real nervous about this, Lauren. Did you anticipate that when I pitched you this book?
What? That people would be nervous about writing in a book?
In a book, yeah.
No.
Would you be comfortable just like ripping a book up?
Yes.
Wow. But you do that on a daily basis.
Yeah. Crushing dreams.
Crush those dreams. Rip those pages.
What's the slash and burn? That's my editing mantra.
And she's a gentle soul, but the heart of a lion, the pen of a warrior. Okay.
But I also wanted to say that it's not just a workbook. I mean, there's so much of you in this book, so many great stories, so much humor.
Which you made me do.
So much hard-won wisdom.
I mean, you didn't make me, but you were like, write more. And I was like, oh, because my proposal is just exercises and a little tiny bit of writing. And she's like, I want to hear more from you and more personal stories. Yes. And I was like, oh, so that made this process a lot longer. I was like, oh no, more work. But at the end of the day, I'm like so proud of it. I'm so glad that you pushed me to dig deeper, because I actually, when I was copy editing the book, I was super depressed, and I read it and I was like, oh, this is good advice.
Oh no.
No, it's good. Especially around procrastination, because I was like, I don't know what to do next. I always get like, I don't know if you feel like this, when you have a project and it ends, and you just get like this letdown, like,
it's over, right?
Yeah. It's over.
What do I do next?
What do I do next? And I get that. I get the blues.
That's how I felt after my wedding.
Really?
Because it was like all for this one big event, and then it's done.
That's why I would never do that.
Yeah. It was really painful.
I would just do like a GoFundMe and like, send me around the world and I'll send you a postcard.
Buy my book.
By the way, you can go to premiercollectibles.com and buy Embrace. Premiercollectibles/Embrace. Okay.
For a signed book.
We got a lot of things here, right? Questions?
Yes. Is it okay for us to... Okay.
I really want to answer this one from Aaron. I'm going to start signing, y'all. So
yeah, you should do that. You have 1,000 books to sign.
I know. Some of them will have book plates in them later, right? Just full transparency. But I will hand sign every single thing, I promise. I'll even go... And then you'll have my DNA. So if you're a scientist and want to clone me in any way, please treat me well as a baby and raise me with less neurosis than my mom did. Love you.
But then you wouldn't be weird.
It's true. I kind of owe it all to my mom. Like, you feel like this resentment, like, oh my God, if I'd only had this in my life, I would be here. And then I'm like, I actually talk about this in the book. There's a whole, my favorite one is the regret chapter. Because,
really?
Yeah, well, anxiety. There's an anxiety section because it's based on a 6-sided die. And I'm actually making those die. Lauren, did I tell you?
No.
I'm going to send you one. Literally, I know, and you roll it and you pick a way to deal with your anxiety, because there's 6 different techniques I use.
Gotta buy the book to
learn about
all 6.
To learn about it, yeah. So I'm actually having that die made, and I'm going to sell it and donate proceeds to mental health charity.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that. I loved in You're Never Weird on the Internet when you talked about writing the 4th season of The Guild. And
that was the hard.
I'll never forget how you describe, and I think about this a lot when I'm working on... in my creative process as an editor, that you can do things the easy way, or you can do things like putting too many layers of nail polish on, where it's like uneven and messy and painful. Or you can go to Hawaii the way you did on the 5th season of The Guild and write it in a week and drink Mai Tais. So
part of that
doesn't have to be painful.
Yeah, that was, and I think I talk about this there's a whole section on play in this book of how to approach problems. And I think I used to be like this person who just if I bash my head against this wall, eventually my head will get through. Or I can be like, what can I use to get through this wall? Well, I could get a drill, or I could just use a spoon, or whatever. And I think if you approach problems in a more... I'm trying to infuse that in my own life as well. Right. All of this is hard won, y'all. I'm a real screwed up person. But I'm more functional because of my book that you can get at premiercollectibles.com/embrace. Anyway, ask me some questions.
Okay, so what are your feelings about Squirrels? This is from Aaron S. in Rock Rapids, Iowa.
Okay, well, wow. That's an important question, and I'm really glad that we can talk about this topic because it's close to my heart. And this is actually something I want to bring up because I was reading a book to my baby. I have a 2.5-year-old, y'all, and she is very adorable. She loves reading. She loves animals. And I was reading her a book from the Smithsonian about forests, and there was a little factoid in there about squirrels being the smartest animal in the animal kingdom.
What?
And I was like,
what?
I do not believe it. This was in print in a book, and I'm like, this was written by a squirrel. Right?
Yes. Well, when you're in New York and you're copious amounts of free time, I suggest you go to Central Park where the squirrels are completely fearless.
Because they know.
Because people feed them.
They're city squirrels.
City
squirrels are bold.
Yeah.
They are
you can't
cutthroat. They have a little switchblade. They'll be like...
They might. I was worried.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think 42 is too old to get started in comedy? This is from Sarah in Kent, Washington.
Sarah, that's a good question. I don't think... This is actually a part of the book. What is your goal with your comedy? Are you thinking, I need to be, Rosie O'Donnell tomorrow? or you just want to start comedy, because there is no age at which you, as a 98-year-old woman, if you don't have osteoporosis, could you be like, I'm going to go take gymnastics class, all right? You're going to break a hip, but that's your choice, right? But there's no reason to limit yourself because of age in exploring anything. In fact, I read this really interesting article, and I think I put it a little bit in the book, about how the older you get, time feels faster. And it's because you're used to the world, so you're not as surprised. And your brain's not rewiring in a way like, oh, is that how that works? Whereas a kid who sees a subway for the first time, they're like, whoa, they're like neural synapses are connecting. And it's like your brain is like, this is a new experience for me. And it seems longer, an experience that's novel or something.
That's fascinating.
It is fascinating, just neurologically. Is that a word? Anyway, so to me, I write this in the book, like the more you can expose yourself to new things in life, that's how you can expand the time that we have on Earth, because we're just so go tell some fart jokes, Sarah.
Do it.
Take a stand-up class. Take an improv class. If you want to be a professional comedian, it is a little bit harder to start later, because you don't, there's years that you have to break in. But the great thing about comedy is you can do it wherever you live. You can put it on the internet. You can practice wherever you are, because you're kind of self-generating your own content if you're a stand-up or a writer.
Right.
And if you're in an improv group, you can perform improv anywhere. So I think the funniest people I've ever done improv with are people who weren't even professional actors. They were like lawyers and stuff. They made me laugh so hard. So anyway, get in there. Embrace your weird.
Okay, this is from...
That's the name of the book. Did you get it? I tied it in like that.
PremierCollectibles.com/embrace.
Yeah, look at you.
Who knew?
By the way, I love your bangs.
Thank you. They're my mom bangs.
What?
Because I had a baby, and so I lost, like, my hairline got weird.
It's so weird, right?
So weird. So then I got bangs to hide it.
Do you know what happened to me?
What happened to
Well,
you?
I mean, I was super depressed when I was writing this book, because I had weaning depression and anxiety. Because my baby turned 2 in January, and I was like, okay, you're done. She was 2 years old. I was like, I've done my duty.
Time's up.
Done my duty. These have served you well, but Mama has to travel without pumping now. And so I weaned her, but I didn't understand that you could get seriously depressed. Also, my thyroid went crazy, so I was on too much thyroid medicine. So I was having like heart palpitations at night, thinking that I was just going crazy.
Right.
But it was because my thyroid kind of corrected itself after weaning, so my hormones, and I was on too much thyroid medicine. So
you
then
never told me this.
I know, and then I went off the thyroid medicine, and my hair started thinning in the front again. But I'm good now.
Okay, I'm glad you're good.
Guys, I'm good now.
Yeah, because you write about that in your first book.
Well, I had to go on the thyroid medicine.
Right.
But after I got out of my company, I left my company, Geek and Sundry, a couple years ago, and had the baby, and then that's a lot to deal with. And then once coming out of that, I kind of I think the lack of stress, which is good for your life, made my thyroid bounce back. But I didn't know it, so I didn't know why my heart was palpitating. So go to the doctor.
Hormones are real.
Hormones are...
They're
no joke.
So real.
Don't just take melatonin, all right?
So, Kristen from...
I don't know why I said that. You can take melatonin. It's fine. Just talk to your doctor first.
Yeah, we're not a health professional.
I'm not a health professional, y'all, okay? I'm just saying get some help.
So, Kristen from Garner, North Carolina asked, you're running for president. What's your slogan? I'll tell you mine.
What is it?
It can always get worse. That's my motto.
Wow, that's motivational.
Right? It's inspiring.
Yeah. Mine would be F that noise. F that noise.
I like that.
Yeah. I don't think I would be elected. I probably shouldn't get political here. But you guys, it's readily apparent how I feel.
Well, I have a question. Did you want to talk a little bit more about your creative process on writing this book? You sort of touched on on how it was a difficult time in your life.
Yes, this was a difficult book to write in that once I got into it, I was like, oh, this is challenging because...
Just so meta, too.
It is really, because I really did have writer block around the time when I was writing. But, the good thing was, I just put it on the page. I'm like, okay, what am I feeling? What is real right now? What am I struggling with? Let's put it on the page. And actually, sharing it made me get through it. And I think helps people relate to it. Because everything that's personal, no one's alone in being screwed up or having issues, especially... around creativity. There's so much that's built up around creativity. And to me, I think creativity is a form of self-care. You know, people are all like, go take care of yourself. And it's like, it doesn't just have to be a massage, you know? It's not just getting a pedicure is going to be like saving your life. Like, go knit something, right?
You don't need someone to touch you.
I don't want people touching you. Also, I haven't had a pedicure in 3 years. So it is gnarly down there. And I don't care because I don't like flip-flops. I don't like the feeling of something between my first 2 toes. It's gross. I can't state it more definitely. I don't wear flip-flops. Don't wear shorts either. Don't want to show any of my thigh to the world, all right? Burkini me out. Thank you very much. Next.
Let's see. Well, I have a question. What have you been reading lately?
You really don't like these people's questions. Do you notice that? Like, she's like, so I'll look at 50 of these. Is this book good for teenagers with anxiety?
Yes, that's a great question.
Julie, yes.
From Toledo.
People have been asking me what age range, and I don't know, because to me, all humans are equal, as long as you can read words. There are no profanities in here. I did do one F word, and somebody at a school got in trouble for putting it in the library, so I decided not to do any profanity in here.
On this book?
No, the last one.
The last book.
There's just one F-bomb.
But you know what? The last book was a Junior Library Guild Award winner.
Exactly. So you know what? Guess what? Teenagers hear the word F, the F word, all right? I'm sorry to break your hearts, parents. They're exposed to that on a daily basis, and it was a funny punchline.
And I feel like you started out; it wasn't even fully spelled.
I believe you're right. I don't think I got into trouble, but I was like, you know, teenage girls are super. I look at girls who are 15. I'm like, oh, I wish I could go back then because I was so awkward and I didn't know anything and I couldn't figure out who I was, and I would love to give this book to my 15-year-old self.
I was like, why would you want to go back to that?
No, because I'm like, if somebody had just held me a little.
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing is I made it through still weird, which I worry about when I see teen girls. I'm like, don't abandon who you are. Don't be like don't look, I'm sorry, no offense, but Kylie Jenner is not the kind of person I would want my daughter looking up to because
she didn't go to college. I worry about her education all the time.
She's a billionaire. She's fine, but I don't know if she's the person she would be if she wasn't exposed to all that.
She didn't have a choice.
Early. She did not have a choice. And to me, we should always have a choice. And a lot of times our choices are taken away from us unconsciously because we see the people who are our mentors or like the put up as people we should aspire to be. And I'm like, let's just at least have an alternative, right? And so this, to me, hopefully this, I was obsessed with astrology and like personality quizzes when I was around 15, 16 because I'm like, show me how to be.
Right.
And I would talk about that in here. And I'm like, no, figure it out. Do the work yourself because you'll save yourself. Because when you're 25, you'll be like, who am I? And I'm like, just do it early. Get it over with.
Right.
So, yes, I think that a teenager would appreciate this book. Although there are old references in it. Like, I mentioned Beavis and Butthead, but then I call it out. That's a really old reference. So, I'm, like, self-aware about it. So, it's cool.
Yes. And you don't have to get all the references.
You don't need it all.
No. And I think this book isn't just about creativity. It's about getting in touch with what you love.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super important.
And you'll learn about yourself.
The first part of the book is to learn about yourself. It's very nerdy, y'all. So you build your hero. You're
going on a journey.
You're going on a hero's journey. You build your hero. You figure out what enemies you're going to encounter and how to counter them. You learn technique to be able to go on, learn how to go along the quest, kind of attitude. You got to go get them. And then you have a quest at the end that you go on, that you decide to embark on. It's a nerd journey, but I tried to couch it so that non-nerds would like it too. Although there is a six-sided dice analogy to anxiety, and that's kind of my favorite thing ever. I'm so excited about this die.
So do you still play the violin? Catherine from Tampa, Florida wants to know.
Catherine, I got it out a couple times because I wanted my daughter to be inspired to play it, and she's like, too loud, Mama. I would rather listen to Halloween songs 7 hours a day in February.
Have you ever been bullied? If so, how did you deal with it? Erica from Azusa, California.
The good thing is that I was homeschooled, so nobody ever bullied me as a child. And I feel so lucky for that because I did not abandon who I am in order to conform or stay safe, right?
Right.
And I think that's why we are not as creative as we could be because we're trying to stay safe. Because when we're creative, we're our most vulnerable because we're showing our true selves. But that is the thing that gives us ultimately the most fulfillment in life, I think. Being able to express ourselves and make people understand who we are through our expression of self, which is usually through creativity. So that is what I really, I die inside when I see somebody trying to, tamp down who they are, especially as a kid. So, I think in Hollywood, it's more subtle. Like, adults don't bully each other outright, but they will reject you for not being cool enough. I mean, I was told a lot of times when I moved to LA, you should get a nose job or fix those teeth, or you're really, you know, cut your hair, grow it out, lose weight, gain more weight. And so I think that was something I struggled to deal with.
Yeah. Everything I've heard about Hollywood is worse than I thought.
It's really
by
bad.
Like 1,000.
It gets worse the older I get. I'm like, what am I doing with my time? You're a dick.
Do you think it's getting better?
No.
No,
See,
I think it can always get worse.
I think
it's a great model.
I think that a little bit there's more. I think there's a lot more effort on diversity, and I think women are getting a little bit more voice. But ultimately, it's ruled by a certain kind of guy. Right. I hate to say that, but there's still the ones in power at the top.
Even though Downton Abbey was the #1 movie.
I'm excited.
It was so good.
I didn't see it.
It was so good.
Did you leave your child at home to see something?
She was asleep.
Wait, she was asleep. Did you go to the theater with her, or what happened?
No. My husband stayed at home. It was after bedtime.
Oh, okay.
But what is your favorite art medium to work with? Jennifer from Portsmouth, Virginia.
Oh, wow. Well, I wish I could say I was artistic. That's why I did not do the drawings in here, but I do admire them. And were I to be able to draw, this would be my dream style because it's real quirky and indie.
Oh,
and
good. I'm glad.
Yeah, you really... Lauren.
I didn't draw.
She did everything. She's a wizard. She edited it and drew it. No, she found the right person.
I'm glad. But you gave a lot of direction. It wasn't just,
I described
this is your vision.
Yeah. No, I described everything in detail. It's just like I literally can't draw. So, but at the same time, I enjoy sketching. And I enjoy doing watercolors because I like splashes of color. My favorite art form is definitely, I love improvising because it's just like off the cuff. And it makes me unconsciously get out of my own way and let myself, really express myself.
I'm surprised you like that because you're so type A and in control and always early and...
I know, but that's it. I read this really interesting book about there's a brain 1 and system 1 and system 2. We have this primal brain, but then we have the
lizard
thinking.
Brain or
we have lizard brain and then we have higher brain.
Got it.
But our higher brain sometimes can interfere with our creativity, I think.
Yeah.
And so when I'm the most tired, I know that I act the best.
Really?
I'm just exhausted because I don't have the filter of I'm nervous because of the camera or somebody moved over there. You're just so desperately trying to just hold on to the moment. You're in the moment. So
does that help in auditions?
Oh, I'm terrible at auditions. No,
okay. You don't want to stay up all night and then...
Oh, I'm terrible at auditions. I've never even booked a job with an audition, I don't think. I think, no.
Even commercials,
yes,
surely.
Because I didn't care about them. And I would do 20 a week, right?
Right.
But the TV auditions, I'm even this year, I'm hi, I'm Felicia Day, and you can see what's going on with her. We want her to do better, but I am just terrified, and I'm I can't. And I got a new therapist, and she's like, you know what? This is a danger to you. You're in danger, and that's what your body's telling you. You've had some trauma around this, and you need to
not do it, or no?
Maybe not do it, or figure out a way to do it that you're not traumatized, because your body's never gonna. Because you're putting yourself in a traumatic situation.
Yeah.
It's I'm forcing my body to go into danger every time I do it. If your body reacts like that, you kind of no wonder it's being a jerk.
Because the stakes are low.
They are. It's just play acting. It's not that important, I'm sorry. It's not to insult my profession because I do love it.
So
it's not like writing a self-help book that can change your life.
It can.
PremierCollectibles.com/embrace.
I'm not that jaded as to think that's.
No, that's why I wrote this. I was this is a much better use of my time than writing a spec script that Hollywood's going to go, it's good, but I don't really want it.
Can you make the main character a man? Did anyone read the New York Times article that...
What? It's happened. It happens all the time.
You were featured in?
What? Oh, yes.
Hot Guy in the Basement
Hot Guy in the
thing?
Basement, which we're still going to set that up somewhere. Somewhere, y'all.
So...
My friend Kate McCucci, yep.
With so much going on in your life, how do you stay focused? Asked Ariel from Stevens Point.
Am I focused? Question mark?
Well, maybe how do you stay focused when you're writing?
I don't.
Don't.
No,
you have your phone and you have the internet.
No, I don't. No, it's bad. The best writing, thank God for this book tour, or I would never get this other book. It's not another book, but it's another writing project. I would never get this thing done because I'm actually getting more. I got more work done just on the plane yesterday than I had in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Just because I was you cannot buy Wi-Fi. Because I think my attention span is broken because of
Me too.
social media.
It's really bad.
It's really bad. And that's why in the book I'm like, be bored, get off your phone. And I actually did, I was like, oh, I just wrote that, I should probably. Yeah, I mean, you know, doing press for the book has kind of broken my rules, but I did uninstall all social media from my phone, and I installed Kindle and Duolingo instead, and I was like, okay. And it actually does help, because then you're able to focus a little bit more, and I think I read a really interesting article that says if you work for 45 minutes and take 15-minute breaks, that's the best way, because your brain really can't, and you can't really write for more than 4 hours a day. Right. So I kind of work, and I work on those parameters, and I kind of like, okay, if you can get 2,000 words done, that's a really great day. 1,000 to 2,000 words is like.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It is.
Like lazy.
It is.
Yeah. No, it's good.
I think, what is it, Stephen King, when he's writing a book, he writes 7 days a week. Holidays doesn't matter, because they can't interrupt the flow.
I think so. I think that habit, I talk about it in here, like the habit of being creative, the habit of picking up a pen. I've actually fallen out of it just because this month has been crazy, but like even doing 10 minutes of just automatic writing into the computer and then wiping it out is the best way for me. It's the amuse-bouche. If I do that, I will be able to write my whatever I'm writing much faster.
Right.
Or just a little bit more enthusiastically.
I think it's hard to start once you
once you get over that.
Part.
Yeah, it's kind of like trying to push your car over a speed bump, right?
I don't drive, so.
What? What?
I live in New York.
So New York.
I used to drive. I wouldn't get in the car with me now.
When's the last time you drove a car?
Maybe 3 years ago.
Do you know how weird that is for a majority of
it's
the
so
US?
Weird. And I don't like getting in cars anymore.
I'm jealous of you. I
get nervous about driving.
That's my dream.
It's scary to me.
I never want to live in New York, but I do want to live in a place where I can just use public transportation. That's my dream. I don't know where that would be.
Yeah, you
and
need
is it
to
cold?
leave LA. Are you happy you were homeschooled? Do you think it allowed your personality to blossom? Amber from Sherrills Ford, North Carolina.
Amber, I do think that being homeschooled made me who I am. I'm contemplating it with my baby, although I need to do it a little bit differently to get her a little more exposed to other children, because I was kind of encased in glass. But I do, and I struggle, because I think as a mom, I want to protect her from that bullying that we talk about, because I'm like, why should anyone go through that when you're trying to form who you are? Like, why should that trauma be attached to identifying who you are as a person, right? Because I think I was kind of baked when I went to school, and in college you kind of just do what you do, right? So that kind of atmosphere where you're more self-directed is so healthy for exploring who you are, and yet all kids are just thrown in a group of 40 other kids, and it's like, okay, the median rules in a way, and then that's the pressure. So I don't know, but then I don't want to like protect her so much that she'll have trauma like I did when I went out into the real world. Like, you're rejecting me, but I'm awesome. So I think it's something that I really would like to do for her, but I have to figure out how to do it in a healthy way, since she's definitely an only child.
Well, a little bit of rage is not a bad thing.
Yeah,
it's always propelled me forward in life.
Really?
That's one of my other negative motto.
Just rage?
Rage has always propelled me forward in life. That's
rage against other people?
Just like anything. I mean, but mostly I think that the like high school trauma that I had really
so you needed
launched my ambition in a way.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's like more like watch me. You know,
that's what happened with Lady Gaga. Remember, there was like a fan page of like you're just like Lady Gaga, Laura. Yeah, they were like, you'll never be famous, Stephanie. It was like a Facebook.
There was a Facebook?
There was a Facebook group that people are like, you'll never be famous, Stephanie. And I was like, there's 17 people in it.
When they were like in college. Then.
Maybe it was college. But anyway, those guys are so stupid.
Yeah.
Those people are so stupid.
Why would you waste your time?
Well, that's a bad person. Like, really.
Yeah.
Don't focus on the don't focus on the negative. Focus on the positive, which is in this book. PremierCollectibles.com/embrace.
So, do you have a favorite exercise in the book?
You know what? I mean, I love. There are some graphics that I'm really, really, really proud of. The roided out unicorn is really awesome. The analogy of anxiety being a balloon that you hold that's not part of you is super profound to me. I'm like, I'm telling my own words are profound. Yeah. I loved the little exercise of like putting your dreams in clouds.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I love the ones with the visual elements, like the toolbox. There's a toolbox exercise where you just write what's weird about yourself and put it in this little toolbox, a sketch of a toolbox, and then that's your creative toolbox, so that whenever you want to create something, you really should go back to what makes you different from other people as the root of something. Because, like, I'm sure you see books all the time. What are the ones that stand out to you?
What do you mean?
Like
when
books that are
on submission?
Yeah, super personal, super different from anything you've seen, right?
Right. And honest. I think that's what makes for the best books.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good. Hey, pro tip.
Yep.
Lauren, let me ask you. Where are Lauren's questions? No, I'm just kidding. What are your feelings about squirrels?
We already went over this. I'm afraid of them.
Darren from Montgomery, Texas asks, as a mom, what nerd thing are you looking forward to most introducing your daughter to? Darren, Mario Kart. Okay?
Even I know that one.
Right? Did you know it of me, or is that what you're most excited to introduce your daughter to?
No, I think that, yeah. Because I'm not a big video game person.
Oh, so you're not going to play Mario Kart with your daughter?
No, I will. I'm saying I know that game, and I like it, and I'm...
Yeah, because I was not a Nintendo person. My mom didn't give me a Nintendo, although I loved Mario when I went to friends. Yeah, she was like, oh, it's a waste of your time. Here's a PC to play 8 hours a day on. I'm like, did you not know what we were doing? We played games. Like, I don't know where the semantics were. We had an Atari 2600 or something.
Uh-huh.
But she was like, no, you can't have a PlayStation. It will rot your brain. I'm like,
but here's a computer.
Here's a computer with all the games you'd ever want. Anywho, it's
nice
totally
try,
fine.
Mom.
Yeah, but the older she gets, like, I love gaming, but there's parts of gaming culture that I'm not eager for her to embrace or be immersed in. Also, I don't want her spending all her free time gaming, like, because I had a lot of free time, so basically 3 hours a day of video games was not a majority of my day. But if she went to school, then that would be a big part of it, and I think there should be some free time that's not on there, but now that she's getting older, I'm like, what could we do together? And I was like, oh, Nintendo. We could play Mario Galaxy. We could play...
Is Duck Hunt still a thing? Is that a bad thing to teach your child?
I think that's bad.
It's so fun, though.
It is really fun. I had that on the 2600. I loved it.
It
was that in the bomber. The bomber. Anybody play that? It was like you had a barrel of water and you just whip back and forth, and this robber at the top would drop. Guys, somebody tell me you know this game. Anyway, and then basically it got so insane that it would, and I was actually quite good at it. I was good at that and Tetris. Well, you know, I have a few things that I was good at. But it just made this really satisfying hiss whenever the bombs went in your barrel.
Now, I think it's interesting that you were, I flagged one of the exercises.
You did homework for this, Lauren.
I tried.
But then you acted surprised. Like, am I going to be a moderator? Was that just your ploy to try to get out?
No. Well, maybe. But we never talked about it. And since I know you do live
I do streaming
videos all the time.
I'm on twitch.tv/Felicia Day every Saturday night.
I got this. I'm a professional. So
I just want to hang out with you.
Your way. Oh,
this is a good excuse because I have to leave after this to go to New York City Comic Con, which will be fun.
So... list a subject that you hated as a child. So one thing that I admire and am jealous about you is that you were a math major. You can do math and you can act and you can write, and what can't you do? It's kind of annoying.
I mean, is that useful though, math? Not really. I mean, not right now. You know what the problem with me is that I was a space cadet math person, so I liked visualizing weird toruses and other kind of
You've lost me.
Okay, just like I like geometry and I like things that are very theoretical math. Right. Very theoretical math. Like you're not even dealing with numbers. Like when you're I'm in the letters. And so any practical math, like any physics or practical math, I hate, and I if it's finances, I just like zone out. I'm like, I don't know, just put it in an account and I guess it grows. Like that bad. I'm not bad with money.
So
like
that would be practical. That would be useful.
That would actually be useful, and my baby would be better provided for. But that's okay, because I write books now.
Yes.
Yes, I do. So whenever I just like zone out when I think about practical applications of math, but when you talk to me about like fractals and stuff like that, I'm like, ooh. So it's fine.
Oh, so one of your exercises is list a subject you hated as a child. Why did you hate it so much? Were you discouraged by peer pressure? Not Felicia. Bad teachers, or was it simply because you weren't good at it?
Yeah.
Was there a subject you weren't good at?
I mean, I would say physics. So I tried to take Physics 101 because my grandfather was a nuclear physicist. So I was like,
no pressure.
No pressure. I know. He was always like quizzing me on math problems, and that's kind of why I wanted to do math. Right. But I was not good at the practical stuff. And I think I didn't give myself patience about it. I realized that I didn't. But also, it just wasn't something I gravitated toward, the practical application of science. I really liked theoretical science, and I liked chemistry, more. So that just was... And I think it could have been, like, a little bit of peer... Like, there was a standard that was very high there.
Rocket
and I felt like, because I wasn't, like, immediately picking it up, that I wasn't good at it. And if you're not good at it, then it's a waste of your time. And I think one of the messages of this book is that just because you're not good at something doesn't mean it's not worth putting some time into or learning about.
Right.
And you might like it if you get over that first hump, right? It's like writing.
Mm-hmm. Was there anything that did you take your own advice on this? Is there anything that you...
I definitely took my own advice in learning how to embrace the work of the creativity. So I think, especially with writing, because writing I'm always thinking too far ahead. Mm-hmm. And I think it was kind of a result of doing too many web videos where I was going to output something the next week. And so I just had to have something, and I couldn't do like 5 rewrites. I couldn't take my time to make it something really polished. And so I think I had this anxiety, especially when you're in the middle of a book. This is a long-term commitment where you don't write a book in a week. You could write a screenplay in a week. It's probably not good, but it could be. But it's doable.
Right.
But you cannot write a book. I can't imagine. I mean, God bless you if you write a book in a week. But, so this is like months of your life, and you're in the weeds, and then you're like stuck in the crappy middle for so long, and it's like, why did I do this? It's terrible. Why your life choices are all wrong. Like, around like page 100 to 171, you're like, just stop. Just give it all back. Just stop it. Just call them and be like, I'm out. So that is the hard hump to get through. Yeah. And if you realize, oh, this is work.
Right.
I'm not supposed to have lightning strike me every single second that my pen is on a page.
It's good to have a purpose.
Yeah, and it's good to be willing to write badly to get to the good place, right?
Yes. And I forget who said this, but I believe it's true that every good book has at least one nervous breakdown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, because I'm an expert.
You had at least one. 2?
One on each, at least.
One, okay.
Here, it was just a real long. It was like a slow car ride.
Right.
Car crash, yeah. Car crash, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What other questions are there?
Where does your love of movies and all things nerdy come from?
Oh.
Freya in Northland asks.
In Northland?
I don't know what...
Wongeray.
Where is that?
I don't know. Where's Northland? North? Greenland? Is it Greenland? It's somewhere in England, right? Northumberland. It's where the Vikings live. Did they film Game of Thrones there? We're ignorant. I am.
No, I am too. Geography's not my strong suit.
I think, Freya, that I think it's always your parents, right?
Yeah.
My parents always were buried in books, especially sci-fi. I loved watching MST3K and Star Trek The Next Generation, but it was mostly reading, I think. They weren't necessarily comic book nerds. I never read comic books as a kid. My brother did a little bit. So, yeah, I think that was it. I think they modeled it. And they also Star Wars. Like, I had a Star Wars bedspread, and I think my dad was pretty nerdy, but my mom was too. She's more of an artist, so she's like hippy-dippy. So she'd be like, let's go take watercolor class, or let's do sculpture, or let's just drive to a Civil War monument and roll over dead bodies. Like, thanks, Mom.
I love that. You start the book talking about your first book and the reaction to that and how your mom got out of she got pulled over and she dropped her name and it worked.
She rear-ended another person and she mentioned my name somehow. I don't know how that comes up in conversation when you rear-end another person, right? Like, how does that work?
I don't know.
And then she got out of it. The person, I was cool with not calling the police or the insurance. I heard this from the other person, by the way. It was from the fan. Hey, your mom rear-ended me.
But I didn't mind.
It is okay. She's real nice. Guys, one day there'll be a good indie film about her.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
It'll be in 20 years.
What's your next idea? What are you working on next?
I am writing a project that I can't talk about.
Okay.
But it will be out next year.
That's exciting.
That is exciting. I'm getting something made.
Will you tell me off camera?
Yeah, I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah.
And then I have an acting role that is going to happen after I get back from book tour. And I can't talk about that. And I have several writing projects I want to do next year. I want to do a fiction book, but I don't know when I'll start that.
Just say a novel.
I want to see a novel.
Just say a
Just
novel.
say novel.
Don't say fiction book.
I can't say
I'm
fiction
editing
book.
you in real life.
Thank you. I'm going to write a novel. That's my goal next year, is to at least start. I have a couple of ideas, and I also have 2 TV shows ideas that I don't know if I'm going to work on them. It's a waste of time, y'all.
I think you should prioritize the book.
Okay. Really? You're objective.
I'm not biased at all.
Okay, good.
Okay, so we're going to do 22 questions in 2 minutes. Are you
What?
ready?
Wait. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Where were you born?
I was born in Huntsville, Alabama.
Who would you want to play you in a movie?
Oh, Emily Blunt.
Not you?
Yes, me.
Okay. What was your first job?
My first job, oh wow, my aunt was a librarian, and she, she's a librarian, and she went blind because she had a retinopathy because she was diabetic, so I had to go to a library. I went to the library when I was 8 and helped her check out books so she wouldn't lose her health insurance.
You worked in the library. Okay. Who makes you laugh the most?
Oh my God, Seinfeld.
What is your biggest fear?
Being bad in front of people.
What is the one thing you need to have in your fridge at all times?
Coconut creamer.
What is your greatest accomplishment?
My baby.
Who is the most interesting person you met recently?
You.
Oh my God, stop. What is your middle name?
Felicia.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh gosh, people who don't put their left turn signal on.
What is the last book you read?
I read, I'm reading Thinking Faster and Slower. It's a book, Thinking Fast and Slow.
What is your favorite hobby?
Oh, my favorite hobby is streaming video games.
What is your guilty pleasure?
Eating cream puffs or any of sort of that.
Do you have any hidden talents?
No.
What color is your toothbrush?
My toothbrush is it's clear with green stripe.
What is your secret snack?
Secret snack is corn nuts.
What are corn nuts?
Just keep going.
Okay. How do you take your coffee?
I take my coffee decaf with a lot of milk, except I don't drink coffee anymore because of anxiety.
That is so sad. What is the last movie you saw in theaters?
The last movie I saw in the theater, Avengers. The Avengers thing. That was so long ago.
You're going to see Downton Abbey.
I have to.
You have to see it.
On my
What
TV.
is the last gift you gave?
Oh, my last gift I gave was a bunch of children's gifts because all my friends are breeding.
What cause is dear to your heart?
I am really species preservation because I want all my baby to be able to see all the different kinds of animals in person, not just in pictures.
What is number 1 on your bucket list?
Writing a novel.
Where do you want to go that you've never been?
Tokyo.
Me too. I really want to
go. Let's get an excuse.
Let's go right now.
Oh my God, let's just go. Let me tell you, that was a hard one. Did we do 2 minutes? No.
Should we keep going?
Ish.
You give really great baby gifts, I have to say. All the things you gave me.
What was your favorite thing that I gave you? Was it that nesting thing?
Yes. There's this company called Nesting Days, and it makes a carrier for infants that doesn't, you can buy a scarf.
Yeah.
And have to wrap it.
It's origami. It's
which
so
is
hard.
When you have a newborn, you don't want to watch a YouTube video 100 times to figure out how to.
Also, you don't want them to drop out. This one is it's a dress you put on, so it's like Spanx.
A shirt. Yeah.
It's a Spanxy shirt, and then you just tuck them in. There's no way for them to get out, right?
Right.
And it's only for up to 6 months, so it's and also it's only like this, so they won't smother. There's not all this fabric in their face. Right. And then you just kind of wear them around.
Yes.
You just wear them around
and it's comfortable.
Spandexy. Yeah. So not indoor. I mean, no. We're here for the book.
We're here for the book, guys.
But if you have a tiny baby, nestingdays.com.
Very good. And baby paper.
And baby paper. Oh yeah, baby paper is good. Excellent idea for a book. What was your motivation? Alice from Lockhart, Texas. It was to do good in the world versus just be all about myself, which is boring. Because I have my limits. Was your mom a creative weirdo too? Think we've firmly established that one, Christine. In the most delightful way, What is your life motto or advice for someone to live by? Natasha from New Hope, Minnesota asks. Natasha, embrace your weird. Come on, man. Why else? The book actually is named this because for my memoir, I did a campaign for T-shirts, and I raised $50,000. I gave all the money from the T-shirt campaign to this anti-bullying charity because I wanted people to be themselves, and that was kind of the core of my memoir. And because everyone loved "embrace your weird" as a phrase and supported it with their wearing it on their chest, that I was like, that's a great title for my next book.
Yes, great title.
Yay. Let's see, what else?
Do you want to talk about the subtitle? Should we talk about the creative process?
Yeah.
We had a different subtitle. What was it? Embrace your weird.
A journal. Yeah, like 2 weeks before we actually finished the thing, it said a journal.
It was like a journal. Why can't I remember it?
A journal for facing your fears and unleashing. It was similar to that.
Yeah, it was similar.
But then,
for unleashing your fears.
And then like I have a Discord, discord.gg/Felicia Day. It's just a bunch of my fans and I hang out there. It's a chat room. Essentially, it's like AOL chat room for people who like me. So go over there. One person was like, "Oh, I thought it was a book. I didn't know it was a journal." And then I was like, people are not gonna think that it's something that I actually put effort in. They're gonna just think it's like
blank pages.
There's like blank pages, and then like, you go, girl. Like, it's like, no, I spent a year of my life on this. You need to know this. So we, at the very last minute, changed the subheading, which I think was a good call.
Yes, it was really. We don't do market research, believe it or not.
No, it was good.
Publishing.
This is why you got to use early fans. Also, one of my early fans
grateful.
They caught a typo where I said that Aragorn unleashes a volley of crossbows at orcs, and they were like, Felicia, it's Legolas. And I was like, thank you, Rocket Soup. I was like, thank you. Rocket Soup is one of my lead mods. We love you, Rocket Soup. Thank you for that.
You everything.
Also, I won't say this out loud, but there was a phrase in here that per Urban Dictionary did not mean what I said. And I was like, ooh, gotta get that one out of there. So
wait, can you whisper to me? I don't remember.
No, I'll tell you later. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was a funny, just a couple words that I put together, and they were like, "Did you Urban Dictionary?"
Did Rebecca find that?
No, it was a fan. I think it was Rocket Soup. Okay. Rocket Soup was an early reader.
Rocket Soup should proof everything.
He really should. You should have you could have a freelance co-editor or like just a proofer.
Yes.
But we had a couple proof. We had, what was it? It wasn't Rebecca.
Peg?
It was Peg, and she made me laugh a lot with a couple of her Urban Dictionary. Like, I can't even remember what it was that made me laugh so hard, but she's like, can you Urban Dictionary this? Because I don't think it means... Maybe it was her that did. It was another thing. But she made me laugh a lot. She's really funny.
She makes track changes.
17 people read this book and tried to... And we still were catching typos at the end. How does that happen?
I mean, here's the truth. Every book has typos. It just does.
Yeah.
It's the ugly truth.
Is it the ugly truth? Yeah. This is not stable right now. I don't know if you can see it, but it is very unstable what I've done over here.
The more changes an author makes, the later in the process, the more possibility of introducing new typos.
Got you. Because you're just like, okay, people have looked at this, but you changed something.
Helps is when you do the audio before it goes to press.
We caught a lot. We caught 6 or 7. And it was mostly, it wasn't like misspellings, but it was like, oh, this is not phrased right. Or that is not the tense this verb needs to be.
And one of my authors did it after it went to press, and she found all these typos on it.
She was unhappy?
Everything's fine. No, I just knew if it gets scheduled too late, you're always going to find, because you're just looking at it in a different way. It's using a different part of your brain.
Just take it. I will sign anything. I'm going to sign your shirts. I'm going to sign... I mean, look at me. I've been doing this. I've been multitasking pretty well.
Now, are you signing on the title page or the title page?
I sign here because I sign on the first page because it has more room. Because on the title page, which I love, it just doesn't seem as neat. I don't know. What do you think? Are you like the whole time you should have been signing on a different place?
No, it doesn't matter. Traditionally, it's the title page, but it doesn't matter.
So traditionally, I should.
Book.
Well, why did you put Embrace Your Weird on this page?
No, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
God.
It doesn't matter.
Oh my God, I am so sorry. But if there's a book plate, they're going to put it right here, right?
Yeah. Yep, you didn't do it wrong. There is no wrong.
There is no wrong. Embrace Your Weird.
It can always get worse.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can wrap up now.
Okay. We're going to do a phone call? We didn't do a phone call. No. She's like, no, we can't do a phone. I am so sorry. I shouldn't have brought it up. I don't know what I was thinking. These people are like, robbed! You know what? We'll pick somebody off camera to call and just say, hey, and nobody will enjoy it but that one person. Yeah, we're going to do it.
Buy the book, guys.
Embrace your weird. Face your fears and unleash creativity. On sale now at premiercollectibles.com/embrace. Just do it. I don't know. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I'm going to sign this.